Have you ever wondered why the corn you boil at home often tastes bland, not sweet, and lacks that fragrant aroma like the corn you get at fairs? The biggest mistake is boiling corn directly in water. This causes the natural sweetness of the kernels to be lost. Today, I'm going to share a super simple but little-known method. Just add 2 special flavors, and you'll have corn that's soft, tender, and even sweeter than the corn from the fair, and this is the very same secret used by 5-star restaurants. Let's check out this secret in today's video. After buying corn, many people often have the habit of peeling off all the husks and throwing them away. In fact, this is actually a common mistake. When boiling corn, it is best to keep a thin outer layer of husk. This husk layer helps retain the characteristic aroma of the corn kernels and also makes the corn cook softer and chewier. Corn that has been completely peeled and comes into direct contact with water will easily become bland and lose its natural sweetness. So, don't be too quick to remove all the husks when boiling corn. After that, cut off the head and tail of the peeled corn. The fresh corn head is where the silk grows out. If you see that this part is wilted, yellow, or shows signs of pests or insect bites, you should cut it off. Cutting off these parts will make it easier to wash, easier to fit in the pot, and save more space when boiling. In addition, you should not pull out the corn silk and throw it away during cutting. Corn silk contains many nutrients that are good for health, so boil it together to take full advantage of the nutritional value of the corn. After preparing the corn, prepare a large, clean basin of water. Add 1 spoon of salt to the basin, then use your hand to stir well until the salt is completely dissolved in the water. When the salt is completely dissolved, put each ear of corn into the basin one by one. Gently rub and wash each ear with your hands to ensure all the dirt remaining on the corn husks is removed. Adding salt helps clean the corn more thoroughly because salt has a disinfecting effect and strong dissolving ability, helping to remove impurities clinging to the ears. Next, continue soaking the corn in the prepared salt water. To make sure all the corn is completely submerged in water, you should use a plate, a large bowl, or a heavy object to place on top and gently press down. This method helps keep the corn from floating to the surface for about 10 minutes to make the corn cleaner and fresher, ensuring soaking is even and more effective. After soaking for enough time, simply pour out the salt water, replace it with clean water, and then wash each ear of corn again one more time to completely remove any remaining salt and dirt. Where are you from? Leave a comment with your location so I can know. Now, we can start boiling the corn. First, put the corn into the pot. Then add about 1 teaspoon of salt. The ancients all knew that when boiling corn, adding a little salt would make the corn richer in flavor and retain its natural delicious taste. Salt helps prevent the corn from losing moisture during cooking, so after boiling, the corn kernels will be soft, plump, and not dry. In addition, the light saltiness also highlights the natural sweetness of the corn, making the dish more appealing. However, you should only use 1 small teaspoon of salt. Adding too much salt will make the corn salty and lose its natural sweetness. Next, take the baking soda used for cooking and add about 1 small spoonful to the pot. This little trick is especially useful when cooking corn because baking soda will help the corn cook softer and chewier. Also, for those who care about nutrition, you might know that corn contains niacin, also known as vitamin B3. In its natural form, this vitamin is hard for the body to absorb. But when corn is cooked in a mildly alkaline environment, thanks to the baking soda, the niacin gets released into a more absorbable form. So, adding a bit of baking soda not only aids digestion but also boosts the corn's nutritional value. Now, pour just enough cold water into the pot to boil the corn. Be sure to start with cold water so the corn can slowly release its aroma as the temperature rises. If you use hot water from the beginning, the outer layer of starch will solidify too quickly, making the kernels dry and tough, losing that tender texture. When you start boiling, turn the heat up high to bring the water to a boil quickly. Once it boils, lower the heat to medium and cook for about 7 more minutes until the corn is perfectly done. You shouldn't boil the corn for too long as it can cause the nutrients to be lost and make the corn mushy and less tasty. Next, Open the lid, wow, the smell is amazing. That sweet, fragrant aroma of corn fills the air and makes everyone want to dig in right away. At this point, take the corn out immediately. Don't leave it soaking in the hot water too long, as it can lose both its nutrients and its natural flavor. Corn boiled this way turns out bright and beautiful in color, sweet, soft, chewy, and super delicious. If you're a corn lover, now's the perfect time to head to the market, grab a few ears, and treat the whole family to a fresh, tasty batch. One more small tip. When buying corn, make sure to choose the type that suits your taste and your family's patron. If you want sweet corn but accidentally buy sticky, glutinous corn, the flavor won't be what you expected. On the other hand, if you prefer soft, chewy, sticky corn but end up with sweet corn, it won't have the tenderness you're looking for after boiling. That's why picking the right type of corn from the start is really important. Once you've chosen the right kind, just follow the boiling method I shared above, and you'll have perfectly cooked corn that's soft, chewy, sweet, and just as tasty as what you'd buy from a street vendor or shop. I usually boil a big batch at once since it doesn't take any extra gas or time, and it's convenient to eat over the next few days. If you don't finish it all, you can save the rest for later. Now, I'll share one more little trick to keep boiled corn fresh and delicious. Wrap each ear of corn tightly in plastic wrap, pressing out all the air so it's sealed completely. This prevents the corn from drying out, locks in the flavor, and helps keep out bacteria and dust. After that, you put the corn in the refrigerator. This helps keep it fresh and tasty for about 1 to 2 weeks. Or, if you want to store it longer, you can put the corn in the freezer. It can be kept for up to half a year and still stay just as flavorful as when it was freshly boiled. Next time you want to eat it, just steam the corn for a few minutes, and it's ready to enjoy. Corn is also super versatile. You can use it in various dishes or as a quick snack for breakfast or lunch. It's simple, convenient, and a real time saver. Boiled corn is a simple snack, but it can also be turned into many other dishes like stir-fried corn, corn soup, sweet corn dessert, or used conveniently for breakfast and lunch. Don't throw away the corn boiling water. It not only keeps the corn's sweetness, but also contains lots of nutrients from the corn silk, which is great for your health. Corn silk has long been used in traditional Eastern medicine. In the summer, many people pick young corn silk to boil into tea. It helps cool the body down, detox, and is especially good for kids. In my hometown, there are still elderly folks who keep this habit as a natural, healthy way to take care of their bodies. How do you usually boil your corn? Please share how you do it in the comments for me. I hope these little tips help you boil ears of corn that are both sweet and tender just the way you want. Don't forget to save and share this so the whole family can try it out. If you found today's video helpful, please like and subscribe to support me, and stay tuned for more exciting videos. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.